Good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for March 19th, 2024. Start with the hybrid swing portfolio, 30-minute charts. Starting with Alcoa. This was yesterday's trade, yesterday's close. Big gap down below the 5-day anchored VWAP and the Bollinger Band mean. It dropped all the way to here, continued to fail. Speculate in with a standard risk. That's a hybrid frog entry. It sells off hard all the way to here. That's a 1, 2, 3 exit, just short of the VWAP and short of the skin of the dragon. And that gives us about 3R. There was a afternoon move that was available. I did not take. AI, this was after a big sell-off, which continued, found a reversal here. This is a 1, 2, 3 entry as it crosses the VWAP with a standard risk. This rolls up here. It falls just short of the PSAR, so I take the exit here for 0.5. Caterpillar, we closed, had 3 positions on over from the last 2 days of trading. This opened here, started selling off. It got near the edge of the VWAP, so we just cashed it. That's 1, 2, 3 positions. That's about 6 on the first one, 3 on the second one, 1 on the last one. That's a 10R trade in 3 days. Cliff, 1, 2, 3 entry this morning, and it never looked back. I was very tempted to take this exit, but industrials have been doing really well. So I held my nose, and it rewarded me with a nice close, and we're about +2 and looking strong. Would not be offended if you took that exit for 1R. Disney, 1, 2, 3 for half an hour. Devon Energy, this is a COTA 2 after this initial sell-off and then a sharp reversal, and it cleared the previous resistance and flipped the PSAR and was above the anchored VWAP and the VWAP and the Bollinger Band mean. So I just hold my nose and enter, and 2R. Yeah, the thick black. Now, this thin black line is the RL30. The thicker black line is the anchored, this one right here. That is the anchored 30-day VWAP. In the same way that this thin orange line is the intraday VWAP, and the thick orange line is the 5-day anchored VWAP. Emerging markets, this was a harsh sell-off, found support, crossed the VWAP, so I speculated long, standard risk, 1, 2, 3 exit here for about 2R. The PSAR stayed strong the whole way as the upper limit. Ethereum, the sell-off continued, found a little support. I did not take the trade. I saw the 1, 2, 3, but I had my hands full with IP. EWW, I just missed the short completely. I got it on the 3-minute chart as a sniper trade of the day, but not the 30. EWZ Brazil, SSC crossing the Bollinger Band main well after a PSAR flip. That feels like an owl entry crossing the Bollinger Band. Standard risk, 1R with an usual exit. Intel, no trade, although this was available in both directions. On the 3-minute chart, this is a slam dunk set of 2 trades. Again, I had my hands full with Mexico and IP. Here's IP. So this was yesterday's trade, was the collapsing dragon and the sell-off. Today's trade gapped up to here and then took off like a scalded ape. It took me this long to realize, oh, we have something interesting here. It had cleared the previous resistance. So I speculated in with the standard risk. It gave me a 3R battle drill, 5R battle drill, and then it just kept going and never really looked back. So this one was massively good. 6, 7, 8R on the first one, 5R on the second one, 3R on the third one. That's a 16R cushion and has a chance to do more tomorrow. XLI, which it is a part of, was huge today. So let's take a look at IP. Huge, enormous day. It has cleared all previous resistance all the way back to February 2023. So now if I go out even further, that's an enormously favorable condition. This is on the 3-day, and you can see we got rising highs. So the channel looks like this. The next resistance is right here, which is not until above 40, and it's at 38.77 now. So right here in this move, we've got 16R as a cushion on 3 positions. And if it gets to 40.25, then the next resistance is here, somewhere around 44 and then 48. So lots of potential for the upside here. And then XLI, that it is a part of, has been really strong. So IP, double plus good. International paper, for crying out loud. There's no artificial intelligence in that one, I don't think. Just intelligence. So that's what that looks like on the 30-minute. Think how amazing that was if I get an earlier entry. Holy smokes. IYR, no trade. Coke, no trade. Like I said, I was busy with IP. McDonald's, I got the 1, 2, 3 entry, holding an R overnight. Merck, no trade. I missed the afternoon run up. Microsoft took a half an R on the intraday little bump. Marijuana, no trade. Nike got the 1, 2, 3 entry, crossing the VWAP, entering the dragon. Standard risk, 1R. NVDA, after the big sell-off, which caught some people by surprise, 1, 2, 3 entry. After it crosses the VWAP and the VWAP is rising, that's telling you there's a lot of volume going on in there. And all it has to do is get back to the 10-day and 5-day anchored VWAP. So you can see that as the anomaly. And so the reversal, the least surprising move of all would be for it to just go back to the anchored VWAP. And if it went and it just overshot a little bit, that came back. So I took the exit, but this thing is in play for tomorrow. And that's how you get 4R. out of NVIDIA on a tactical price anomaly. Clean energy, no trade. Palantir, no trade. Again, this was under normal circumstances without IP. That is just a standard morning hook and reverting back to the 30-day and 5-day anchored VWAP. Look how far this thing has fallen away from the anchored 10-day VWAP. So this thing has a good chance to get back to here just to get back to normal. Rivian, no trade. Sound, no trade. Go straight to Walmart. Closed yesterday's 123. U.S. Steel, no trade. Here's XLI. This is part of that afternoon decision to enter on the breakout above the PSAR when it had cleared the resistance. And we've got something like a Kata 2 kind of action. So this is an emerging dragon with Kata 2 support. Standard risk. Fails to fail further, starts going again. So I just put a second position on, and then it gets propelled all the way up to here. So this is 2R on the first one and 1R on the second one. So I got a 3R cushion in the strongest sector in the S&P on a very strong day in the S&P. So, and then with IP having a chance to drag, and Caterpillar having a chance to drag this thing higher tomorrow. So I'm liking all that. Let's see, sniper trade of the day. This one was routine in EWW in Mexico. So here was yesterday's close. Here's the gap down. Continues to sell off. An R10 move off the high of the day. So I'm short. Standard risk. Comes all the way down. Back to the VWAP. I'm out. And after the R10 rolls up, that's an exit at the skin of the dragon. And so on 1 unit of risk, that's about 1.5. It continues on through, so I get it long, and then that scratches. It crosses the VWAP, so I get short with a standard risk. The dragon has rolled over, so this is like an owl entry in that sense. And all it does is just go straight down, then start to reverse. I just take the PSAR exit for 2R. That's a stop and reverse. And then exit when it comes back to the VWAP, and that's 1R. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and 1.5 is, that's a 4.5R day in EWW. Pretty happy with that. And that's the morning session. That only takes it up into lunch. And then IP took over. Take a look at the traders. He does not take the, this is Jonathan. Let me see where that entry, okay. So here's the gap down. That's the open. Here was yesterday's close. So this is a big gap down. Here's where the opening range 3 enters. So by rights, with this much of a risk box, we could have gotten short here or here and made this trade and then reversed with a 1, 2, 3 entry, which he did take when it crosses the VWAP. He adds a half a position. If you're going to do that and this fails right away, cut it right here instead of here. That extra piece and then believing in it and holding on to exit here turns a winning trade into -1. So then we get, nice job though, getting short here. You could consider that a kata 2 because it has this action. But since it's also breaking the bottom of the dragon, you could also think of that as a CD. Where you exited would have been a good entry for a slight improvement. And then this is a great exit and a reversal here, which kind of gives you a fraction. The better entry was here rather than here. That's a quick cut. If you take that quick cut all the way back over here, then this is a much better day. But plenty of room to learn on today. Hamad grinds out 0.8 and Alcoa gets the trades that were available. This was a really nice reversal. AMD, fractional losses. This is a good reversal. That's a good reversal. You got what was available. Palantir, 0.2. I think, yeah, you stayed out of the chop, but this might have been somewhere in here might have been a kata 2, a grinder. I think that's a good trade there. It has a short dip and you've got a strong moving. I'll take that one all day. Good self-coaching in here. I think when this crosses the VWAP, it's a great entry short, but you got pretty close on it. I like the re-entry. It just didn't follow through. There just wasn't much room on this one. It didn't burn you much. That's good discipline. And we already saw that one. Yeah, McDonald's. Ouch. Finding the movers, huh? Mm, mm, mm. If that's on your list of things to find, then we should have an alert system that allows us to see this kind of a move. Like this should stand out as a mover from among the other things that you were trading, most of which were sideways choppy, to be honest. George does I think, good job preserving capital and then not chasing. Both of those are reasonable, and there just wasn't much follow through in marijuana. Take a look at IP. I think IP is in the wheelhouse for you. That thing is in play. So is Caterpillar. So is ILF. Those are all stable, steady, mature companies. And XLI is a nice one to, not ILF, this should be XLI, sorry. The industrials. Take a look at that little trio and add them to your repertoire. I think those will help you. Take a look at the daily report now. Pushing the all-time highs again. Strength in XLI is going to help that. Market closed very strong in the last hour. You know, it's get closer in on that. The rising 30 period VWAP is anchored at the Bollinger Band mean. That's the reversion to the mean trade if this all fails. But the fact that the closing price is very near the all-time, was near the daily high, and we've got like a 1, 2, 3 here. Any breakout above 515, 516 is positive, and off it goes. This will not be much resistance if this has any kind of push tomorrow. This whole week is really going to put that to the test. The more Trump gets bad press, the easier it is to keep the status quo, and that's going to be good for the market. The lack of chaos. Um, bullish normal, strong across the board, risk off, volatility getting ready for an announcement there. Um, I think XLI, the industrials, are likely to benefit from tomorrow. Watch Caterpillar and IP. Big strength today in Cat, Devon, JP Morgan, ExxonMobil. Gotta like those. Tech is still lagging. Dominated by the fall, a few in the summer. I might also highlight, 3M as an industrial company that's not bad. Caterpillar in good shape. More haves than have-nots today. The usual suspects all dominating. Home Depot, Cliff, and Microsoft. Cliff could be a sleeper for tomorrow. And McDonald's showed amazing strength early. And it has a lot of ground to make up. That could be a value play. I really like the strength in DIA at 248 compared to the S&P. And the strength in the S&P was in XLI at 186. Just to show you the strength, where the strength is, here's technology XLK with only a 54 on 2 days and 34 on 10 days. You compare that to XLI, which is really strong compared to tech. So it's the strength is in finance, energy, and industrials compared to technology. And yep, still some temporary weakness here. The 10-day is back to the zero line. So this would be a natural place for it to find support and resume strength. The 30 has pulled back to the edge of normal, a natural place for it to find strength. So it's postured. It has not failed in here. This is stabilizing. This looks like the stabilizing that went on here and here. And both of those responded with very strong moves. So the upside potential is definitely there simply because it has not failed lately. All right, that's all we got for tonight. We'll get it published and posted. Take good care.